Hello, Internet! Gino, that Pinguino Greco, here again with another episode of Deep Listens. And today is a very special episode because today is the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run preview show.
Bird call.
Nailed it. And for this show, we have a bunch of special guests talking about what they're going to be doing for the event. If you have never listened to any of our Community Endurance Run shows, or if you don't even know what the Community Endurance Run is, the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run is a charity gaming event that we run once a year in April, raising money for at least the last few years for Pencils of Promise, a charity that builds schools, trains teachers, and sends kids to school in developing nations. We raised enough money to send quite a few kids to school. Last year, I think we did the WASH program, and I believe
we were close to $8,000.
It was like $7,500, but I think that was enough for.
I believe the WASH program, you needed $100 for every kid.
So like 64, 65 kids, we were able to train, get them training at sanitation and like basic access to water. So that was super cool. And this year we're going to once again be raising money for Pencils of Promise. We haven't decided which of their programs, whether we're going to be doing scholarships or the WASH program or some sort of other thing. But we're going to be raising money yet again, starting April 20th and running all weekend. So we're starting on 420. Ha 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 ha.
Definitely
Nice.
No significance, what?
Nailed it.
I love April. It's the best.
Yes. And we're going to be streaming for 3 days straight. So if you aren't familiar with the Community Endurance Run, we're playing games. It is not necessarily that all of us will be playing for 3 days straight. We are combining like Voltron to make a full 72-hour schedule with people
I'll
from
be sitting on Billy's shoulders, and then Gino will get on mine.
And yes, when we form up like Voltron, I'm the head. So
I feel like we need to stack up in order of like most shoulders, and that means Pete just got to be on the bottom.
Most shoulders.
Is the head automatically the smartest person? Does it have to be the head of the mech is the smartest person?
No, I think it's the leader is the head. And
right, yeah, that makes sense.
It's like a Captain America situation. Like he's not the strongest, he's not the fastest, but he's got that charisma.
Yeah, he brings everyone together.
Exactly. So we form up like Voltron, people from across the Giant Bomb community. We basically stream such that someone is streaming at all times for 72 hours. And those streams are broadcast on explosiveruns.com and recently on the Giant Bomb chat during the weekend, which has been super cool. So without further ado, let me announce some of the people who are here, some of those voices you've been hearing. I am joined, as always, by Billy. You made a ridiculous nickname ask before the show, and I'm not going to give it to you, Rothert.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I'm really excited to be participating in the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run this year. As always, we got some great stuff planned. Can't wait to talk about it.
I am also joined by Pete, He the Legs, Busby.
Nice. I'll take that. I work on them pretty hard. Never skip leg day. So I'll keep things quick today because we have a lot of people. I have 2 animal facts again. The first one, I'm not going to give it to you because this is a family show. So I'll just tell you, look up marsupial reproductive systems.
Oh,
They're
no.
wild. There's a whole bunch of parts. They fit together all weird. Check it out. The other one, though. So horseshoe crab blood is insanely valuable.
Yeah.
So it's worth $15,000 per quart because it's used to test vaccines and other such medical implements for bacteria.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's
awesome.
blue.
So if a vampire drinks it, it's wasting money?
Yeah, I guess. But
Or maybe it just has expensive taste.
Yeah. Horseshoe
That's
blood,
true.
$15,000 a quart.
Wow. Thank you very much for those facts. I remember, I guess it'll be for the next show. I learned some fantastic mummy facts, and I'll need to share those with you. That's a little teaser for the next show.
There you go.
We are also joined by Anthony Amlabella Redacted.
Hello, everyone. Actually, I realized my username is my last name, Labella. So
Well,
I'm already giving it away with the username.
have
But
to
I
do
go
that.
by Amlabella on Giant Bomb, and Anthony is my real human name. And I've been around since the very first Community Endurance Run, whenever that was, however many years ago. So I'm coming back again for the craziness because I love raising money for charity. Specifically, Pencils of Promise the past few years has been awesome in supporting us, so I'm excited to be joining the team again for that.
Outstanding. We are also joined by Nikki Rooney.
Hi, I don't have a cool intro like you people. I'm the idiot that plays games with his feet sometimes.
And you also
What do you mean, you people?
You know, us who don't play games with our feet.
Or
Yeah.
There's him and there's the
those
rest of the
together.
world.
Those people with opposable thumbs or something. God.
All right, one more just because you mentioned it. Do you know koalas have 2 opposable thumbs?
what?
What?
Jesus.
On the
Bonus
same hand?
fact.
Yeah, on each hand.
Okay, so wait, they have 4 total?
Four total opposable thumbs, yes.
How are they not dominating all of us?
They have very small brains compared to
Oh,
their size.
Oh,
Oh no.
And they
But they're
sleep like
cute.
22 hours a day. So
Look,
maybe they're smarter than the rest of them.
if they
There you
weren't
go.
so stoned all the time, they would destroy all of us.
They're also in Australia where everything's trying to kill everything.
That's true.
I've pet a koala. It was pretty great. It was luxurious. And we are also joined by Person Z. Hello.
Hi there. I joined the community endurance run about 4 years ago at this point, I believe. That would have been around 2015. And if you'd watched last year, I was the guy who foolishly decided to do push-ups for donations.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So-
you were on push-up quest.
Yeah, push-up quest. I believe I will be doing that again this year, but I prepared a bit more this time at least. So there's that.
Do you mean for like in your lifestyle you have prepared for this more?
In the gym a little more often.
Oh no,
Of course
Don't be
not.
ridiculous.
just mental preparation really.
Okay.
Okay.
I've learned to live with the horrible pain in my chest, so it just keeps going, right?
I mean, the brain is the strongest muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Outstanding. So for today's show, we're going to be talking about a little bit of the events that we are planning for the Community Endurance Run, do some little teasers, and hash out some of our early schedule. We are far from the entirety of the groups that are performing and that are going to be streaming that weekend, but these are the people who could easily get together and could, lay down a basic, kind of like some groundwork, some basic stuff to let you know what to look forward to. Because the way we've traditionally done it is about a month in advance. We present a basic calendar, and then we slowly unveil events like 1 or 2 a day or a few times a week. Some prizes you can win, some scheduling information, and then by the end of it, by the time like a week before the event comes out, we've got the whole schedule out. So without further ado, why don't we start up? Billy and Pete and I are going to be streaming as a group. So first thing we're going to be doing is the kickoff show, immediately following Giant Bomb's Unprofessional Fridays. That happens every Unprofessional Friday. We're going to start our show. My plan is to start with our competitive gaming competition, like we do every year, which in the past has involved me and Billy wearing blindfolds and then being given competitive games that we don't know what they are before the controller is in our hand. And then we take our blindfolds off, and we are on the versus screen, and then we go at it. This year we will have more people, so it will still be competitive games, still same basic setup, but we will have at least me, you, and Pete playing. So we will have some 3-player, 4-player games. So that'll be first. And then second thing we'll do is a little event that I'm happy. I really like this idea. I hope it will turn out well. It's an event I call, Huh? What? It is a event where we're going to be using some mouthpieces from a game called Whatcha Mouth. It's one of those stupid like board games that it comes with a mouthpiece that makes you talk all weird. And then the board game's supposed to be like, hey, read this sentence and then have someone try to figure out what the heck you're saying. But I thought, let's gamify that even more. And I'm going to be making some challenges, writing it out very similarly to where the person with the mouthpiece will have to read it. But we will divide up into 2 teams, and we will be playing Saints Row the Third. And each of the cards will have different things that you will be tasked with doing in Saints Row the Third. But the person who is giving, one person is playing, and one person is trying to give directions on what to do. So that should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, Saints Row the Third is perfect because there are almost an infinite number of things to do, each of which is crazier than the last. You
And,
could be saying anything.
and largely stupid. You know,
Yes.
are you being asked to run 10 people over with your car, or base jump off of a building, or fly a helicopter into a building? You know, all sorts of fun things you can do. Drive a tiger someplace. Walk up to Hulk Hogan's character and yell at him because, hey, Hulk Hogan, things have gone poorly for you since Saints Row the Third came out.
Your life taking a
Ooh.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that game, it was cool when he was in it at the time, and things have gone differently.
Yeah,
But
it'll
those
be
are our
less so
first
when you go
things.
back to it now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Those are going to be the events we're leading off with on Friday. And then Saturday, we will be bringing back our torture chamber in the morning on Saturday, starting at about 9 a.m. The torture chamber, if you're not familiar, Billy, you were in the torture chamber before. What was it? What was it like?
I am the torture chamber. Gina, let's just get one thing straight. In years past, we have found some kind of god awful gaming experience that is just irreprehensible by every meaning in the word, and viewers and participants may aim their donations towards keeping someone locked in that gaming experience for a longer period of time. One of my favorite torture chamber memories was when we got that weird like PS1 or PS2 game Creatures,
Yeah.
and every donation was more minutes that I had to spend trying to learn how to play Creatures.
Yes.
But I will say, once that game became sort of unwinnable and unplayable anymore from a strictly mechanical perspective, I was then forced to play Digimon World, which
Nice.
was a
Best
disaster.
Digimon game.
But I actually ended up playing a bit of Digimon World after the endurance run because it was I kind of had this weird like Stockholm syndrome love for it after a while.
Yeah, I feel like Creatures you had to stop because you actually put the game into an unadvanceable state. You killed all the creatures.
Well, yeah, I think all the creatures died, so they could not reproduce and make more creatures, and I think it only had one creature left that was just going to slowly starve to death.
Yeah, so instead of forcing you to restart the game, we forced you to restart a different game.
Right.
But this year, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. The Torture Chamber, same idea. We're going to be playing a terrible game, and the more you donate, the longer we will have to play it. We stumbled upon, during Extra Life, a truly terrible gaming experience. And I feel like it is just perfect for the Torture Chamber. And that is playing playing Gears of War with a Guitar Hero controller.
Maybe one of the worst things ever, honestly.
It's real bad. It's a real terrible experience. And I think that is a thing that we should try to do in earnest, because we only did it for about 5 minutes. And Pete, I almost threw up.
Yeah, no, it's just literally constant spinning. But if we
What
can
do you have to
address
hit?
that,
What do you have to hit for active reload on that?
You don't.
Oh, you just okay, great,
Yeah.
awesome.
you just spin. You just spin till your eyes bleed.
See, I was hoping the whammy bar would control the camera for some
Oh,
reason.
that'd be.
Whammy bar
that'd
does
be-
control the camera. Whammy bar
It's
controls.
Oh, hence the spinning. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm
it's
liking
the
this more and more.
And the position of like the guitar neck too.
So the way it actually works is the whammy bar controls the it controls the y-axis, and I believe star power controls the x-axis.
Oh no!
Oh, jeez.
And shooting it, I've done this before, and I've gotten the gun to shoot. I don't know how I did it.
But we'll figure it out. Rest
Yes.
assured.
We'll figure it out. And to top this off, I will also be adding a Wheel of Suffering. We've got a wheel that I use for the community endurance run all the time, and we will put a variety of terrible things onto the wheel to make the experience less pleasurable. You know,
Gina.
fan fiction reading. We always go to fan fiction reading.
Well, I was going to say potential suggestion, right? So I've, based on my extra time at work and my general status as a subversive, I've just finished reading Marx's Capital, which is about 1,500 pages long. So we could read that, or I could teach whoever's playing the game about it and have them then recite that knowledge back to me. Little brain and body synergy there.
That's amazing. Okay, that's a great idea. We're coming up with great ideas live.
And Mark's Capital, not the only option. I'll bring my copybook. There's notes on a whole bunch of cool stuff.
Yep,
so
we can
raising
do that.
money for children and learning. This is pretty much the full package, guys.
We're hitting it all.
And we're explaining how capital as itself is a terrible concept. So we're raising money while kind of protesting money as a concept, which is very meta. So I think that will be the morning on Saturday. And then after the torture chamber, there will be a different torture chamber where me and I'll get back to that once we add him to the call. So Sunday, we're probably going to be just playing some fun games and having a chill time. But that is our plan. And Billy, you've got something going on Saturday.
Is this where I talk about my endurance run?
Yes, your endurance run. I'm going to have an endurance run, but I will talk more about it later.
Right. So this is my 4th participation in the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run. My first year ever was a more pseudo participation. I was there in spirit. I wasn't on camera live. And I did a one-sitting playthrough of Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. My next year, I did a tower climb run of Shadow of the Colossus, where I played through Shadow of the Colossus 4 times in a row without stopping, and then climbed the tower, and that was my finish line. Year 3, I did the Bastion endurance run, where people could donate to turn on all the idols, which ended up happening. I had all the idols on. And this year I've got a new, grander, even better endurance run planned for us. So I'm going to be playing Dark Souls 1, the first of the 3 Dark Souls games. I'm going to be playing it on the PlayStation 3 and the most recent updated version of the PS3 version. I am not playing the DLC missions, the Artorias of the Abyss. I'm not playing that content. I'll just be doing the original release Dark Souls and the most recent updated version of that. But here's some interesting things about my run. I'm going to be playing Dark Souls Soul Level 1, which means that I will never level up for the entire game. I will stay, as far as my stats and abilities are concerned, the exact same power level the moment I start the game to the moment I finish the game. The only thing that I am allowed to do is upgrade equipment and weapons and get new items, but I can only use those items and equipment that are available to a level 1 player. So that's one element of wackiness. I have practiced this Dark Souls run quite a lot, and I have watched and researched quite a few people that have done this professionally and are pro Dark Souls runners. First things first, I'm not as good as them, so I will not be doing this Dark Souls run in 2 hours or less like some of those people can do. But I will employ some of the level skips, sequence breaks, and glitching that comes with any proper speedrun of this game, depending on what category you're running. So I do plan to use some level skips. I do plan to use some sequence breaking. I do plan to use some glitches and exploits that will help me along the way. There are a grand total of 9 bosses that I plan to skip because they're not required to get to the end of the game. And people can donate money to make me fight those 9 bosses. I'm going to list them off in order of which I will fight them when my donation incentives are reached. So the bosses that I intend to skip are Taurus Demon, Capra Demon, Demon Fire Sage, Centipede Demon, I forget its real name, Moonlight Butterfly, Stray Demon, Gaping Dragon.
Wait, can I just stop you for a second, Billy?
Yeah.
So the first 5 are all just like some sort of demon, like fire.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
And then Moonlight Butterfly. Okay.
Yes. So
Moonlight Butterfly, Spicy
after
Shrimp,
Moonlight,
Hellgate Demon.
well, the last one's good. So Taurus Demon, Capra Demon, Demon Fire Sage, Centipede Demon, Moonlight Butterfly, Stray Demon, Gaping Dragon, Dark Sun Gwendolyn, and Priscilla.
Oh,
It's the last one.
yeah, sure.
Don't kill her. She's nice.
So those 9 bosses I plan to skip during my run. For every $100 my segment of the charity raises, I will go and fight one of those bosses, and I will fight them in the order in which I listed. Sorry, I shouldn't say that I'll fight them in the order in which I listed. I will add them to my run and fight them when it is convenient for me, but I will those are the ones that will get added first. Then I have one last donation incentive, which is my grand finale donation incentive, which is at $1,000. I will not kill the giant blacksmith in Anne Orlando. I plan to do that as he gives you the best soul level 1 weapon in the game. But if I raise $1,000 before I get to that point in the game, which is about 2.5-3 hours into the run, then I will not kill him and I will use a worse weapon. So if you want to spare the giant, for those of you who know and love the game, spare the giant.
I want to spare the giant.
Orlando. Yeah,
I'm going to make you spare that giant. So get ready already.
I need we need to get $1,000 for my charity. Last year I raised $720, so I feel like it's a nice stretch, a little jump to try to go for $1,000 this year.
For one, I feel a little weird that we're holding this nice, friendly blacksmith hostage.
Oh, we are.
And he is very nice.
He's super nice.
2, that's a really good donation incentive. Thank you, Bill. Is there any way I could donate to make you kill just random NPCs who suck?
You know what? I will accept that. If you like, I will think of that in some way, and I'll make every I'll here's how we're gonna do it. Any person who donates like X amount of money could put a hit out on some.
Oh hell yeah!
And it could be one that like I need. Like I'm fine with that.
Like there's that smarmy knight who's like, oh, it's you again. Nah.
Like the one right next to the bonfire when you start the game.
Yeah, that asshole.
Yeah, he's gonna have a price on his head. If you want to pay to have him dead, so be it. That's actually a fantastic one.
That is a great idea.
I'll make up a list of all the NPCs in the game that are killable, because basically everyone is, and I'll put up like
the bounty list.
Yeah, like the bounties, like because the ones that I need to be successful in the game, I'll want to make them a little more expensive.
Sure.
Like the blacksmith to upgrade my weapons ever. Like
that would be bad if you had to kill him immediately.
There'll be a price on that head, but I'll make it high.
I like this idea.
So let me just get back to the actual planned stuff.
Sure.
So I'm gonna be at soul level 1 the entire game. Donation incentives to find extra bosses. Last donation incentive is to not kill the blacksmith in Anne Orlando and spare his poor giant life. But there's one other donation incentive or donation participation here that I want to mention. I'm going to be holding a raffle, and it's a little bit of a raffle and a gamble mixed together. So I'll explain how this is going to work. I don't exactly know what the prize is yet, but I know that I'm going to PAX before I go to the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run, so I'm going to pick up some kind of cool swag at PAX, like a cool poster, like a minifigure, or just something awesome that I will raffle off. And here's how you can get into that. For any donation that is more than $5, and they can stack, so you can like make a donation for like putting a hit on somebody or whatever, but any person who donates to my charity and the donation is more than $5, you can vote for which of the bosses will kill me the most. And so I'll keep track of how many times I die to each boss, and the boss that kills me the most, I'll go look and see who donated for that particular boss, and there'll be a raffle among just those donors.
Yeah, there's a word for that.
And that small group will be the raffle. So if you think like I'm gonna die to like the Four Kings more than any other boss, like just make a little note like voting for the Four Kings for most death, or I think you're gonna die to Quelaag the most. Put a little note voting for Four Kings. So keep in mind, don't vote for one of the bosses that I am planning on skipping if it's like towards the end, if you don't think we're going to get $1,000. Now, I mean, obviously I hope I do, but like don't vote for like Gaping Dragon and then I only get $5 and
don't tell people how to spend their money.
Hey, you can if you want to. If you want to say, Billy, I think you're going to die to the Moonlight Butterfly so much, then go ahead. But if I don't get a lot of donations, I will not even fight that boss, so you'd automatically lose the raffle.
So, question about how this works. So the people are betting what will kill you the most, and then once you have completed your run and you know which one definitively killed you the most, there is then a sub-raffle among the bosses, among the people who bet on that boss?
Well, so you can only be in the raffle if you guess right.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
And I will say this, if no one guesses right, if for some reason no one guesses the boss that I die the most to, I will open the raffle up to any person who made a vote specifically. And if there's a tie, like if I die 5 times to do to 2 bosses, I'll include both of those groups or however many groups there are. So I'll make sure it's fair and reasonable for whomever wants to donate for that specific part of the run. But you can vote to see which boss kills me the most, and that will get you into some cool raffle for some cool giveaway. I'm not sure the exact giveaway yet because I haven't got it yet.
All right, cool. And that sounds really good. Actually, that gave me an idea for a donation incentive. I would like to do a donation incentive where when people donate to either me or Billy's stream, you can suggest what the podcast should play, and whoever has the largest donation and suggests something within reason that we can play, we will do a special podcast episode on that game.
I'm liking it. Now, is that going to be like a random selection or whoever like bids highest?
Bids highest.
Highest bidder. Okay.
Highest bidder that says, deep listens and then give us the game. So if it's a game, Pac-Man arcade, Pac-Man, but it needs to be on a cabinet, like we can't feasibly do that. If you're going to give me a Wonder Swan game, I don't think we can play it. There's some consoles that we might not have access to, but if it's on a PS2, PS3, PS1, Xbox 360, N64, like most consoles we have access to.
Yeah, we can cover this.
Yeah, pretty much any console except for maybe the most recent ones and like super old obscure ones.
Yeah, we can pretty much handle. So if you are the winner and like the game you wanted is for some reason there's an issue, just send an email to the show and then we'll work it out. We'll have a make good. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much
that's pretty much it for me. I'm trying to think if there's any other things that I should tell people about the run specifically. It does not include the DLC. I don't know if I mentioned that. I'm not doing the Artorias of the Abyss expansion, and
you'll be around for all of the other related shows that we're doing. So
yeah, I'll pretty much be there for all of Saturday.
Okay, so
all of Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, and
Gucci.
We'll be at the same time that you're doing that. I'm going to be doing an endurance run of my own.
Woo! I'm on the podcast that basically tried to kill me.
Oh, that's him.
Boy.
Oh no, he's broken in again.
You cannot kill what is already dead.
And right on time.
I missed you, CP.
Man, it's been a rough 2 weeks, guys.
Good to have you, bud.
Fucking A, man. Jesus.
There is Chris Zombie Pie Redacted here for the community endurance run, and just in time because
you called in the village idiot to salvage your shit show of a podcast out here.
That is true, and this is great. So we're going to be, you and I both on Saturday will be playing Final Fantasy 13.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Oh,
did I agree to? What did this blood pact suicide cult that we've joined is? What are we doing now?
So during the community endurance run, we're going to be doing Final Fantasy 13, starting on Saturday, after Billy and Pete and I do our torture chamber segment, in time for you to wake up.
What? Oh, so you're gonna do a torture chamber and then like Final Fantasy 13 is the icing on the cake or the dessert to the side.
That's the chaser.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
Playing Gears of War.
That game is not torture. That's we're just gonna establish it just right here. It's like, no, getting punched in the face is torture, but playing Final Fantasy 13 is just a pleasure cruise.
Well, I'm going to say that after playing Gears of War with a guitar controller, suddenly Final Fantasy 13 looks good. It looks like a well-made game that's going to be really fun for everyone.
This is actually going to kill me. This podcast is literally going to kill me.
I feel like you found the only scenario in which Final Fantasy 13 looks good. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I remember playing that game when it came out, and it literally would put me to sleep. So the idea of playing Final Fantasy 13 in a scenario where you've been playing games the night before for a very long time sounds like the most dangerous thing. But
Yeah, so when I first tried to play this game, I actually had someone in my dorm who thought that the game looked cool. And I was like, oh, you think it looks cool? That's great. Why don't you play it for a bit? And he would sit and play, and I'd be like, oh, cool, I'm going to go do something. He's like, wait, are you just trying to pawn this game off on me so you don't have to play it? I was like, well, I mean, if you want to put it that way, yes.
Gina, who was it? Can we get a first name?
I don't think you know Sandeep.
Okay. No, I don't think so.
I don't think you know him, but he at a certain point he got wise to it that I was just using him to progress.
Let us review what happened last year.
Let us
review how last year I ended up doing a pod or video stream that almost killed me.
I just want to interject something real quick. I told you not to do that.
I played Final Fantasy VIII for 20 hours straight.
You shouldn't have done that. I told you to stop.
And you said we were going to tone that shit down.
Yes.
I seem to recall those words coming out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we need to tone this down and make it so as that you don't shred your body and life force entirely for the sake of charity.
I feel like this is like a smoke the whole pack of cigarettes situation.
I believe
like you
that,
were like,
that is
oh, you like Final Fantasy, huh?
You think you like Final Fantasy, huh?
How about 20 hours of Final Fantasy?
I mean,
it's so cool now, is it?
On the plus side, if you get one of those drinking birds that just hits the X button over and over again and then just tape the analog stick pointing up, I think you could beat the whole game.
Great.
Great. Well, awesome. That sounds great. So what horrible canned meat am I going to eat this time, Gino? What canned meat am I going to eat?
First, I wanted to say, let's just get this out of the way. Please don't eat any more canned meat.
I got a can of canned corned beef right here, ready to go. We can do this for this one right now.
Why did I keep telling you not to do this? You keep saying it.
The last time we did this, I literally got food poisoning.
I told you not to. You can't keep blaming me for the things you decide to put in your body.
See now, if you bring an alcoholic to a bar, you have part culpability for that.
Where does Final Fantasy VIII fit in all this? Are you a Final Fantasy VIII-aholic?
Can I just play Final Fantasy VIII again?
We're playing 13 together. So the way this is going to work, we're going to be playing 13 on Saturday. So this is not a 20-hour thing. We're going to probably be playing for like maybe 12 hours, maybe.
12 hours straight.
Maybe.
Yes, 12 hours straight.
So we are not going to do something where you start hallucinating at the end. Not again.
Not again.
I mean, if enough people put out hits on the Dark Souls NPCs, I could be playing Dark Souls for 12 hours straight.
Yes, but we are not. 20 is well more than 12. It gets exponential at the end. Those later hours, how much damage they do to your body. So we're going to have a goal to have you not hallucinate. We are still coming up with donation incentives because Final Fantasy 13 is a freaking linear game with not a lot of optional content in the early hours. So maybe
why don't you share your idea of how we're going to do donation incentives?
I think we should have some races for chapter completions. I think that would be pretty good.
That's not the last conversation we had, or
what was that
whatever.
One? That's
I thought we had a conversation about a torture wheel.
We are going to use a torture wheel in the morning. We could do a torture wheel for the Final Fantasy 13 also.
Hard pass.
Marxist capital is long enough probably to get through both.
You shut up about your Marxist capitalism. I don't need your bullshit philosophy degree coming into my already eternal torment that Gino has wrought upon my ever-waking hour.
All right, so that's what we're going to be doing on Saturday, and that's, I think, everything that we're doing. So, without further ado, Amlabella, what are you doing?
Hey. So, I have a few things planned. A couple of them are with other users on Giant Bomb, so I'll dive into those first. So, one is on Friday. I believe we scheduled for 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific time. So, it's going to be me, Steve, who goes by Isnasark and Bash on various websites, Nikki Rooney, who is here right now, and Good Space Guy. And we're all going to play a custom Divinity Original Sin 2 campaign as created by Steve's friend, Bryce. So that game, while in addition to being amazing, includes a really intricate creation system in which you can create your own campaigns and even change things on the fly like you're a DM in a pen and paper RPG. So Bryce has been messing with that, and he has created a custom-made 2-hour campaign that the four of us are going to play through together. And Steve let me know that Bryce has been doing DM stuff for 17 plus years. So he has a ton of experience. He's going to include Giant Bomb specific humor in there. I believe it's going to be kind of lighthearted. So there is some Giant Bomb stuff in there. And Steve used the words, there is a payoff at the end. I don't know what that is. It has not been revealed to us. But he said there is a big payoff at the end, I guess in terms of the narrative. So I'm really excited to check that out. We're going to do a practice run or two just to make sure it all works. But like I said, Bryce has been messing with the Game Master system that's included in the game. And I remember watching Larian Studios post a video tutorial of the systems in the game to create your own campaign. And again, it's very intricate. There are all kinds of options. You can hide things from the players as the DM. You can reveal things to them. You can force them down specific paths if the campaign is playing out a certain way. So you can adjust things on the fly. So all of that will be in effect when we do that on Friday night. Like I said, that's going to be super exciting.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and Divinity is already an incredible game, one of my favorites of last year. So it'll be fun to play with the rest of the crew and check out that custom-made campaign. Again, tailored to the Giant Bomb audience. So that'll be a lot of fun.
And just a question, are you rolling your own characters, or is he giving you characters that you're going to be playing?
So that is a fantastic question, which I was going to mention. So I believe the rest of the crew will be creating their own characters from what I understand. But I was going to have a donation incentive put into play in which basically the Giant Bomb community gets to create my character. So the people who donate the most get to pick the class and pick the name and pick appearance options. Basically, my character will be entirely created by the Giant Bomb audience. I'll kind of iron out the details on that once we put up a post on the website with all the details for donation incentives and things like that. But essentially, I will not be creating the character in any way whatsoever. It will be entirely the Giant Bomb community and those who are donating to Pencils of Promise.
All right. I hope you enjoy playing a bard with max strength.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a nightmare. I should probably mention, people are going to screw me over, and you know what? It's for the kids. It's okay. I'll put up with it for the kids.
Excellent.
So that'll be fun. Hopefully that gets a lot of donations. And another thing I'll be doing with another user is Nikki Rooney, who's here in the call. I suggested to him a week or two ago, we both played through the game Celeste, which came out in January, I believe. It is a 2D platformer from the creators of Towerfall. It is a fantastic game. We both like it a lot. Nikki Rooney tends to be really good at that kind of game, and I am surprised at how good I am at Celeste. So we both completed the game. I've done all of the optionals, almost all of the optional stuff. I've collected all the strawberries and done all the B-side levels. So I thought to myself, you know what? Maybe I should challenge Nikki Rooney to a speedrun race, because we did one a few years back for Super Meat Boy, and he absolutely destroyed me. So I thought, you know what? Maybe if we do Celeste, I'll actually have a fighting chance this time. So I suggested that to him a week or two ago, and he said, great. So we've both been practicing. I did my first practice run a week ago on stream, and I think I beat the game in about an hour, 45 minutes. And Nikki Rooney, if you want to go into how you're doing with your practice runs, you've been keeping me updated on that as well. I think you've got under 90 minutes now for your run.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so we're both around the 90-minute mark. We're going to continue practicing until the April event, but it is a speedrun race. It is David versus Goliath, because I am definitely the underdog, but I'm going to do my best to practice and try to defeat Nikki Rooney. But this is the guy who plays games with his feet, so
that was gonna
we'll
be
see
my
how
question.
it goes.
Are you both playing with your hands, both playing with your feet, one hand?
Oh, I
one
will
feet?
never play a game with my feet. That's not in my wheelhouse. Maybe I should make him play with his feet.
Is anyone
So then
eating
I actually
anything?
have a chance.
I can try, yes.
How about Here's what we should do. A regular race where we're using our hands, but if enough money is donated during our speedrun race, how about Nikki Rooney? You agree to do an extra run in which you use your feet.
Yeah, barring any technical boundaries, I would definitely try that.
Okay, I love that.
I've ordered a fight stick for playing games with my feet.
There we go. You're already prepared. I love this. So that's great. Let's say we'll do that where specifically during the speedrun race, people can donate and mention that they want to see Nikki Rooney's Feet Celeste run during that 90-minute time where we'll both be speedrunning the game against each other. And if enough money is raised, we'll pick an amount, I guess. And if enough money is raised during that 90-minute, 2-hour slot, Nikki Rooney will do an extra run of the game using his feet. It could be right after or whatever time is most convenient to you, Nikki Rooney.
I want to throw something out there. I feel like it's a cop-out if Nikki's the only one who has to play with his feet. Amabella, you might not be good at playing with your feet, but you have feet.
This is okay. For those who don't know, I do in fact have 2 feet. So Gino has just let it be known. I have 2 feet. That is accurate. I would absolutely be willing to try. I wouldn't call it a race at that point, but we could just both use our feet. I kind of like. I'm curious to see how well I would do, or how disastrous it would be. So yeah, I will also use my feet if we reach the dollar amount during our speedrun event.
Excellent.
Where I will also try to play through the game using my feet. Yes, I agree to that.
Excellent. I'm glad we're getting this on tape. So
yeah, I mean, I can't wiggle out of it now. You're right. It's been recorded, so I'm kind of locked in. Darn it.
So
this is bad. And my last thing to mention is what I'll be doing on my own. So those are 2 things I'll be doing with other Giant Bomb users. For my own thing, on Saturday night and probably Sunday morning as well, I will be playing Into the Breach, which came out just a couple weeks ago. I absolutely love the game. I've been playing it pretty much nonstop for the past week or so. And the idea is to play through that and to take donations. The donation incentive will be to name both the mechs and the pilots in the game. You can customize the name of any mech and any pilot in the game. So I'll have a minimum donation amount. I haven't decided on a dollar amount yet, but essentially if you donate the minimum amount, you can name one of the pilots or mechs after yourself or pick a name that you like. And I'll be doing enough runs of Into the Breach that there'll be plenty of slots open for people who want to have a mech or pilot named after them. So I'll be doing that. I've played through the game about 22, 23 times now, and I've beaten the game, I think, 8 times at this point. So I kind of know what I'm doing. I wouldn't say I'm great at the game, but I've beaten it, including with 4 islands. So I was thinking if we reach a certain dollar amount by that time or on my page, that I can change it to hard difficulty, because I've been playing it exclusively on normal difficulty, but there is a hard difficulty in there, which I'm sure is insane. So I was thinking if we reach a certain amount of money by that time, or on my page specifically by that time, that I will play the game exclusively on hard mode for all of my runs. Ouch. Which will surely bring disaster, and everyone who's naming a character after him or herself will surely die in the process, but that will probably be fun.
Excellent. So is that the last thing, or one more?
Yeah, that is it for me. So the Divinity Original Sin 2 co-op campaign, custom made, Into the Breach for me, and then Nikki Rooney and I will speedrun race Celeste and possibly play the game with our feet.
Excellent. So, next up, Nikki. What do you got?
That kind of covers like half of my stuff, since I'm involved in Divinity and Celeste. Just to be clear on the Celeste, we're just gonna do the default campaign, like the regular chapters, and there's a kind of a bonus level at the end that we won't be doing because you have to do other bonus stuff to unlock it. So it'll just be like the regular story.
Yeah, we won't collect strawberries either. So there are a bunch of collectible strawberries that you have to go out of your way to get. We're simply going through the game, not worrying about strawberries.
And I'm also planning on doing, probably on Saturday, a run of Bloodborne. And for a donation incentive, I need to do some research on this, but I'm going to have most of the weapons in the game listed, and the weapon with the highest total donation amount will be the weapon that I use for the entire game, and I won't use any other weapons. So I'm probably going to split it, because you can use a regular weapon and a gun. I'll probably have a highest total donation for gun and a highest total donation for regular weapon. And depending on the weapon that's chosen, I probably have to pick a route to get the weapon. So I might need to use a different weapon just before I get that weapon that's actually chosen, but I'll do my best to use that weapon only. And I'm also planning on trying to find some blood sausage, and
Yeah.
I will eat the blood sausage if there are donations made. I've seen it around here before in the grocery
good.
stores.
It's good stuff.
A tip: if you could find Portuguese blood sausage, that stuff's actually pretty good.
I'm not sure what it'll taste like, but I've had like the non-blood version, like basically the same without the blood, and it's delicious.
Any
So-
onions in your future? Any onions?
You want me to put onions on it?
Sure.
Oh, you want me to eat an onion again?
Yes.
I would eat an onion if I was allowed to cook it, because the biggest issue last time was that uncooked it was like just completely choking me with fumes and hurting my stomach. But if it was fried up and soft and stuff, I would eat the whole onion.
Could you try a different kind of onion? Did you have a white onion last time? Red onion? It was white.
Valencia?
It
Was
was
it
a
fancy?
white one, I think.
White onion? Get a red onion in your life.
I
That's
hate
not-
red
That's
onions.
going to be harder to eat, like physically.
You shout or leak.
They're more rigid, I think.
They're turgid.
I want to point out that
I didn't
we
want to say
once got a
turgid, but
comment.
thanks, Gino.
We once got a comment on Deep Listens. I found it complimenting Gino for running the community endurance run, but saying that he was concerned by 3 users' stream. The first one was Gino's, the second one was mine, and the third one was Nikki's. And I
Yeah.
found the comment directed to Nikki. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Nikki Rooney's stream was a depression factory. Watching a grown man
Jesus
eat
Christ!
Watching a grown man eat food to become increasingly miserable and possibly throw up is one of the worst things you could ever do. At one point, I was afraid the
That
man
seems
would give
extreme.
himself food poisoning or irritable bowel syndrome.
I don't think that's how that works.
So
I
job
don't
well
think
done.
that's how that works, but that's
That was the
it.
intended effect.
Mission accomplished.
Someone
I
was...
was-
concerned about your well-being.
I was actually kind of disappointed that I didn't come anywhere close to throwing up. I had a bucket right next to me.
Mhm.
This is your year. This is it.
So I wasn't planning on doing like another one of those, because I don't know, it seems kind of wasteful to like buy all these different foods and only eat like half of it when I could just like donate the money. But I might try and think of some other gross food thing to do besides
fair.
the blood sausage, because the blood
I
sausage
do
might
have
end
a
up
pro
being
tip.
good.
If you do end up eating an onion, see, you can sort of use this onion to your advantage, because by eating onions, you actually help break down sugars in your body. So you could also just have a crap ton of desserts there as well to just sort of even it out. So you're not as horribly depressed for eating onions.
Last year, someone's donated to make me stop eating the onion, and I was never more thankful in my life.
Someone set you free.
My stomach was hurting a lot.
Yeah, I just want to let the record show, blood sausage, not the same as Vienna sausage. ZP, no, don't have Vienna sausage. Just because someone's having sausage doesn't mean you have to.
But it's
All-
cheaper
all
if I buy
sausage
the
endurance
canned
run?
variety.
We each pick one. Like I get chorizo, and we just go down the list.
I guess
I feel like you just got
sausage.
the best sausage there, though. Like,
Hey, first pick.
Yeah, I like how you called out. He beat us to it. It's only fair.
If I buy the Vienna sausage, I can drink the juice to give
Nope.
me
Oh
liquid sustenance.
no!
Sausage
oh,
of
don't.
the can.
Don't make us cancel charity.
you know, I actually had a friend of mine had an older grandfather who would drink the juice from the Vienna sausages, and he said when you drink the juice, it gives you the power, so you could keep going on with the day.
What?
Yeah, that's how it works. That makes perfect sense.
I'm pretty sure he was insane.
No one man should have all that power.
It's true. I just want to know, is the last pick on this sausage power ranking Snossage or Vienna sausage?
Sausage is dog food.
Yeah. Which is worse? I think I would take sausage over Vienna sausage, but it's probably close.
Okay, so because
feel
you've
like
never
it's just-
had it in a long time, Gino, Vienna sausages are just canned corned beef. It's what it is. It's just corned beef
But
in
tubified.
tubular form.
But I've had corned beef, and corned beef isn't the worst thing in the world. And every time you've eaten a Vienna sausage on the show, for charity, whenever you've eaten one, you've gotten sick.
And for the record, corned beef is actively delicious.
Whereas Vienna sausage is actively gelatinous.
Saltpeter also decreases your libido. They used to give it to sailors on long trips.
I don't know if that's actually
Really?
like an effect. Like it, yes, that there were like people
Like
gave
that's
each
why.
other graham crackers to lower their libido, but there's no science
That's true.
behind it actually doing it.
You're right.
Okay, well, with that little aside out of the way, Person Z, what is your event?
My event. Well, okay. So on
Push-Up Club?
Push-Up Club will be in effect again this year. I will have some slight alterations to it. So instead of 2-for-1 push-ups, it will be 1-for-1 push-ups. However, any donation over $10 will get you, instead of push-ups, squats, but at 4 times the amount.
Mm.
So a $10 donation would get 40 squats, if my math is correct?
That is correct. So, but only $10 donations. For some reason, I'm actually insane, and if you give me $20, I'll do 20 push-ups. But for $10, I'll do 40 squats.
Jesus Christ!
Okay, so if someone gave you $100, how does this work on your body?
That is, well, you see, the muscle fibers rip, and then the idea is that you're supposed to give them time to heal, but I don't think that might necessarily happen in this scenario.
So what you're saying is you'll be swole at the end of $100.
Pretty
Is that
much.
good pump?
What was your largest donation last year?
50.
100 push-ups is a lot of push-ups.
Yeah,
can do
that was
one
100.
push-up.
Dude,
But I didn't do them straight because I wasn't physically capable of it. I believe the most I did at one time was 40 last year. And then I just had to take a small break and then continue with the push-up club.
Excellent. So
Yes, but so that is pretty much my basic donation incentive for what I will be doing. But on Friday, I will be having some people over at my place where I will be streaming, and we will be doing something similar to what we did last year. Last year, we did essentially fighting games to decide arcade games. Instead, this year, we will be doing fighting games, and the winner gets to decide which VR game they get to put the loser into.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. Which VR console are you going to be using?
I have an Oculus Rift that I have procured from a friend, and an account that has a bunch of VR games on it. So, I mean, it's not a huge library, but there's a decent enough amount of things to lock people into that they may not actually enjoy whatsoever. So that should be interesting.
Excellent.
So that will pretty much be Friday. On Saturday, I will be doing a proper endurance run of the original Nier, not the new Nier.
Ooh.
Now this is a game I've never really played before, but doing a bit of research on it, I've come to the understanding that I could at least reach a mainstream ending for that game within 20-ish hours. So I will be doing that, which should be interesting because I've never really played that. And if I reach my donation incentive, which I'm not really sure what amount I'm going to put it at. But another donation incentive I'm going to have is if I do reach this, instead of stopping at playing Nier, I will then continue on playing a new game, which anyone who's probably watched me stream the previous years, not last year specifically, but I've been playing a lot of the Secret of Mana games. I played the original Secret of Mana the first time I did this. The second time I did this, I did Seiken Densetsu 3, which was that unreleased Secret of Mana game. And if I reach my goal incentive this year, I will be playing either Sword of Mana, which is a remake of the first game, or Final Fantasy Adventure, which is just the first Secret of Mana game. just whichever copy of it I could find, because I know I have both, but I don't know where either of them are, to be honest. So I've just kind of been looking.
Excellent. So,
But aside from that, that is pretty much all I'm doing. I mean, I guess I'm looking forward to getting my gym in while doing some charity streaming for the kids. Aside from that, it should be interesting at the very least.
yes, it always is. And with all those events out there, anyone who's listening, we will have everything up for you to be able to find this event when this podcast posts. So we'll have a link to the main donation page. People will be setting up their individual donation pages. You should just be able to find it. Pencils of Promise, Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run 8, VIII, because we use the Final Fantasy numbering. Otherwise known as the Roman.
Can we do like Call of Duty and make it 8 eyes?
No.
Okay.
That'd be a really good
I had
joke,
to ask.
though.
Hard pass. It's about fewer keystrokes. And yes, I know if we just did the number 8, it would be 1 keystroke instead of 4, but we're classy.
That's not fancy.
Yeah, we're keeping it classy.
We're a classy group. All right, and that's some of the things you have to look forward to at the Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run. So it will be starting on April 20th, immediately following Giant Bomb's Unprofessional Fridays. It's going to run for 3 days, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We usually finish like slightly past midnight on Sunday because we have people who are all over the world, and so some people, slightly past midnight Eastern time or West Coast time is still pretty reasonable wherever they are. And we'll have even more announcements coming in the following days and weeks. But it's going to be a blast. It always is. Every year we've raised more and more and more. Last year our total that we were aiming for was $5,000. We ended up raising $6,483. So we're going to have to raise the target even more. Keep going higher. This train don't stop. So thank you everyone who's participating. Thank you listeners. Hopefully you'll be able to tune in. We'll be streaming on Explosive Runs, and hopefully we'll be able to use explosiveruns.com, and hopefully we'll be able to use Giant Bomb chat again. We'll see. In talks with some other people. Hopefully we'll have some cool stuff to announce again soon. So thank you, Billy.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm really looking forward to my participation this year. Again, we mentioned that sort of hot idea on the fly of Dark Souls NPCs having bounties on their heads, or I should say prices on their heads where you could put out a hit. I will figure out the math on that, and there'll be some kind of release between the release of this podcast and the actual Giant Bomb Community Endurance Run, where I will publish what every NPC that I'm willing to kill is worth.
And thank you, Pete.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for tuning in. If we decide we want to do a Wheel of Intellectual Torture, I'm more than happy to let you listeners pick the books as well, provided you give me enough time to read them before we hit the endurance run. So if you want me to teach Billy and Gino something, start thinking about it.
Did you say users pick the books?
Yeah, listeners, whoever.
Oh, that could.
Depending on, all right, yeah, I should add a caveat not to pick anything reprehensible.
Yeah, like maybe just say like, hey guys, maybe don't pick Mein Kampf.
Right,
just
I'm
saying.
not doing that one. Pick a legitimate
Oh, boy.
piece of scholarship, and I will teach that to Billy or Gino.
That's
All right.
still a little wishy-washy, because
Oh, it's nothing but Friedrich Nietzsche.
is there any Ayn Rand on that list?
It's nothing but Ayn Rand all the way down.
Well, she's only got novels.
Yeah, that can
Got-
only be so bad,
Oh,
I
God.
guess. Oh no, he's reading us Atlas Shrugged. No.
Oh God.
Oh god, I guess now that we've said it, someone's gonna do it. Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
we should actually
Almost
just stop
assuredly.
giving people ideas.
Yeah, let's stop. Yeah.
Thank you, ZP.
Every waking hour that I am alive is pain.
For the
That's
children.
that catchphrase.
Thank you, Amlabella.
Thank you, guys. I'm really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Thank you, Nikki.
You're welcome.
There's a good answer. And thank you, persons.
Thank you all as well. Can't wait to, I guess, quote unquote, get swole.
Yes.
Nice.
Excellent. Until next time, thank you, everybody. Peace.